Quick shout out to Prime. You guys have been doing absolutely amazing. I really appreciate it. If you want to help me out and you want to support these streams, which are free for you, the best way to do that is sign up to PrimeXBT using my link in the description. If you enter code MAIN50 before you deposit any money, you get a 7% bonus on that deposit. I get a kickback on all deposits made. So if you want to know how I'm getting compensated, I'm telling you exactly how it works. I get a kickback on people depositing money. So signing up is great. I appreciate the signups, but if you want to help me, send a little bit of money onto the exchange. It doesn't have to be much, whatever you can do. And then obviously trade. We've been crushing it the entire month of July. I'm looking forward to crushing it in August as well. And if you want to support me and you're following my trades, do it on Prime. So thank you guys so much. We had a killer month for signups and deposits in July, so I really appreciate it. Let's get into the charts. So this is the Bitcoin monthly chart. The reason I have this up here is obviously we recently started a new month, right? It is now August. Can you believe it? 2022 is more than halfway over. And I don't know about you guys, but it still feels like 2020. Like I haven't really registered the last 2 years really in terms of time. They've gone by super fast. It's been super weird, obviously, with COVID and all that kind of shit. But an entire bull run has happened in that time. And we're starting a new month here. And here's the month of July. So after 1, 2, 3 very ugly months, we closed July looking pretty good. You know, if you're following some people on CT, they're saying the bottom is in. Oh my God, bears are fucked, all this kind of shit. It's like, this is why it's always important every once in a while to zoom out and realize that, you know, we're here. Yeah, we had a green month, but you know, a few months ago, Bitcoin was trading above 50, 60,000 bucks, and we've had several consecutive red months that have been massive. This is just the first bit of relief that we've had in a very long time. I'm not saying that there wasn't money to be made on the long side, but we're up 30% from the low, okay? 30% from the low. We are still 65% off of the high, okay? So don't get too excited yet. I personally am much more of the belief that, you know, a bottom happens like this as opposed to some people who just think like this is how it's going to play out now. Like we've never really seen this kind of thing before. So I don't know why this time would be different. This is, in my opinion, how a bottom forms, right? Long consolidation, sideways, accumulation, right? What do you need for price to go up? We need Bitcoin to be accumulated at low prices, right? So for price to move up, Bitcoin was accumulated down here and distributed up here, right? So if we want to see price go up here, it needs to accumulate, right? There's got to be juice. It's got to be juice to squeeze. Just keep perspective. That's all I'm showing you here is perspective. I'm not saying we can't look for longs, but perspective. The bottom very rarely forms in one fucking candle. So pretty lackluster attempt at breaking out of the range, right? So we have been following this for, you know, the entire month of July and the end of June here. We had this first move out of the range. I wanted to see us hold this retest, but we ended up trading all the way back to the mid-range, but we did catch along here. 12-hour order block, key SR, SFP, blah, blah, blah. Gave us a nice move to the upside, and we made a new high, but that high was an SFP. So as much as this was a great move here, we SFP'd these highs, and to me, that seems kind of weak. Personally, I don't love that we took this previous week's high and then closed well below it. You know, looking at on the 3-day, it's an SFP. The daily's obviously an SFP. The 12-hour was the SFP. So only thing that wasn't an SFP here was the weekly, because the swing high on the weekly is actually here. So technically, you know, on the weekly, we've got our bullish weekly order block here, and we've just made a weekly swing high here. So if you're looking at the weekly, I think what's most likely to happen is a move back down into here perhaps, and then maybe we go. But that means that we can come back down, you know, maybe to, you know, 21.6 to 22 into this area here, right around here, before going up. Now, it doesn't seem like a big move on the weekly, but from here down to 21,600, you know, is a 5% move. If you're trading with high leverage and you're long right now and we have that kind of dump, you know, that can fucking wreck you. Personally, I think it's very likely based on how this kind of double top played out here. So we had the range breakout, back into the range, failed to make a new high, and we're back at the range high here. I personally am of the mindset that we likely trade deeper back into the range here. I would not be surprised at all if we trade back to the range low. The 12-hour chart here is put in bearish market structure. There's a swing low that's broken. So this would be your most obvious target on the 12-hour. And I think just looking at this very plainly, I don't really want to see us trade back below here if you're bullish, because this seemed like kind of the level that was capping price here, right? Resistance, 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 small deviation below, but instantly back above. This seems like a pretty critical area, this kind of 21,500 to 22K zone. If I'm a bull, this is my kind of idea, is this is a pullback here. There's your sweet spot, your OTE, and your risk is this deviation. So you want to buy here and hope that we make a higher low relative to this one, and then boom, higher high, higher low. And then we start talking about that, 21,800, 28K area, which is this previous price floor. It's also a 100% extension on the fib, 1-to-1 extension of this swing. So if you print this swing on top of itself, that's what it means by 1-to-1. That's the bullish thesis in my opinion. Like, I personally do not like how the high time frame chart looks. Like, I think that this move looks like it's running out of gas, and I don't think that the S&P necessarily is looking super strong. Like, it looks like it's coming up into key resistance here. And if it's going to reject, it seems like this is where it would reject, right? There's your order block here. So this is the down candle, the up candle, excuse me, before the down move that broke market structure. We've now traded all the way back into that. You pull your fib from here to here, right? It's just above the 7.9. So key area, it's obviously bounced off this monthly level, right? Monthly order block here gave you a huge bounce, but this is into some resistance here. And this just looks kind of weak to me, high time frame. So my long idea is exactly this. If you're going to play the long side, I think you aim to bid between 22. Maybe you bid this entire OTE zone if you want, because it lines up pretty much identical with that box I drew. So 21,500 up to 22,200. That's the area, this area here, where I'd be looking for price to put in a higher low. You also have this breaker right there, right? This breaker zone right here, which we're starting to tag now, but it can come deeper into this area. So that's the confluence for the long, in my opinion, is basically this fib, this kind of SR level, right? Deviate, retest of this area here. This is where you want to see the higher low form, I think, if you're a bull. Low, high, higher low, and then you hope for a higher high, and then we start talking about this area here, right, as an area that gets retested. But that would be the bullish thesis, in my opinion. So if you're looking to get long, that's where I think you do it. Now, if we go back to here, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, we have a failed breakout of the range. Came above the range high, traded back in, went up again, SFP'd. So I'm looking at this on the 12-hour and I'm saying, okay, this kind of looks like potential shit. So maybe we come up here to this area for a sell. But the problem is your risk is pretty high. Like, it's pretty far away from your entry, because if you're going to sell this, your stop has to go above here, in my opinion. So what I would want to see is some sort of low time frame trigger. So maybe we run this high into this area here, and then if we SFP or get back below it, then I can have a tighter stop. But basically, a move up from here, I think, is a sell. I personally would be targeting back to 20. That's the move I'm more confident in. Just looking at the chart, that's my gut reaction. I'm thinking we maybe run one of these highs, and that will allow me to define my risk by whatever happens here. So what I mean by that is like this. I would want to see a candle up like this, and then another one like this that has a wick like this or something, right? So it closes above, but it SFPs. Now, when I'm looking to short, my stop now goes here, because right now the invalidation on the short side is up here. So I'd want to see something like this, run these highs maybe into this supply here, right? This candle. That's what this box should be. It's a little misdrawn. Into this candle, the bearish order block. And I'm looking to short that back into the range low. And hopefully it happens in one candle like that. This is my plan, personally. So this is what I'm looking for. But if you want to be bullish, if you're like, yo, Trader Main, you're wrong, we're going higher, this is the area that I drew out before, right? This is the area where I think you want to see get defended. If I'm taking a short like this, and then we come into this area where I think if we're bullish, we should hold, and we start doing something like this, right? So put in some bullish PA, I would cut my short, and I would then look to long. But if you have no interest in shorting, I think you wait and you see what happens between 21,500 and 22K. I think you wait and see what happens in this area, right, that I explained a little bit earlier. You wait and see, and you say, okay, are the bulls going to step up here? And if they do, by all means, start longing. I think initially your stop is here, but if you get something bullish, like it puts in a low, lower low, higher low, okay, well now your stop is here rather than here, because there's no way this low gets invalidated if this thing's going to go up from there. And if this low gets invalidated, we very likely take out that low. So that would be the bull scenario. I'm not personally taking this unless it shows me that it wants to be long here, and it shows me and it says, okay, no, this area is getting defended. If this area gets defended, by all means, if I get filled on my short, I'll cut it. And if I don't get filled on my short, but it comes down here and it looks bullish, I will long. But I personally am hoping for a move up, sweep of these highs into that supply, and I'm looking to short down to the range low at 20K and below this key swing low. But this area I will watch, 21.5 to 22K, I will watch, and I'll see if the bulls step in. But personally, I'm leaning towards a move down, and hopefully I get filled on some sort of short up here first. I think that would be ideal, right? Trade it back up above 23, get everyone hyped again, and then smack it down. Take out this low first. If we hold below here, target back to the range low, and then we're probably fucked, but we'll see. I don't think the bottom's in personally after 1 month of green, after 3 straight months and even longer of just straight down price action. I think it's much more likely that we form some sort of big range and we have multiple moves to either side, and then we get excited again. All right, so Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin out of this lower range here, right? So we had both coins ranging, and then when Ethereum broke out of the range here on July 15th, it went on to make a swing high, a higher low, and another higher high. Why did Ethereum outperform Bitcoin? Remember, your answer here, what happened on July 15th? Ethereum BTC blasted upwards. So when you see this happen on Ethereum BTC, we deviate the range low and we start moving back up aggressively here. That means if you had to long either Ethereum or Bitcoin, one or the other, okay, for the month of July, which one should you have longed based on this chart? Since this thing is in an uptrend, that tells you that Ethereum is stronger than Bitcoin. So if you had to long one of these coins for the month of July, the coin that would have went up more is the numerator. And this logic can be used on any fucking pair, any altcoin, stocks, currencies, everything. And I've done 2 videos going over this exact logic. So go watch those for sure. But Ethereum, that's why it looks better than Bitcoin. Bitcoin has performed well. I do think that, you got to watch now here. Okay, we've had a big move up after deviating the range low. Now we're coming into the first bearish order block since this move down. So what you want to watch here, I think, is Ethereum BTC, because if this trades back below the mid-range and starts trading down, regardless of whether Bitcoin and Ethereum are going up, this means that Ethereum is weaker than Bitcoin. So what does that mean to you as the trader? So if this starts trading lower and Ethereum and Bitcoin are both bullish, they both trade higher, but this is trading lower, that means that you want to be longing Bitcoin over Ethereum, because Bitcoin is going to be the stronger of these 2 pairs. If this is going down and both Ethereum and Bitcoin are going down, that means that you want to be shorting Ethereum, because Ethereum is the weaker of the 2. So Ethereum BTC into resistance. Ethereum itself looks better than Bitcoin. Looking at the 12-hour chart here, this is a clear uptrend. The swing low of this uptrend is here. So I think just like Bitcoin, right? If you want to see a higher low get put in on Ethereum, you want to see it happen pretty fucking quick here. It's retesting this consolidation here. So I would assume that, similar to Bitcoin, which it could trade a little lower, you want to see Ethereum kind of hold this 1450 to 1520 area for a higher low. But I would not be surprised at all if this is the top, right? And then all of this shit trades lower and we trade right back into the range. Lose here and hold below, boom. Lose here, hold below, boom. So I'd be very cautious being a bull here until probably we get back above, this. I think you have a pretty clear level here, right, of this. So I think your 2 options on Ethereum are either wait for a reclaim, right? So this is just like a deviation of these highs. So if we now get back above here, boom, you get long with your stop right there. But if we stay below here, right, I think we probably trade into this low, and this just becomes a over under, right? So that's what I'd be watching for on Ethereum, in my opinion. Similar to Bitcoin, though, I think it needs to hold pretty damn close to where we are right now for it to maintain its bullishness. So if I want Bitcoin to make a higher low around 21,600 to 2,200 or 22K, 21.6K to 22K, I want to see Ethereum put in a higher low between, 1470, let's say, and, 1550. Similar kind of range. So that's what I want to see on Ethereum. Personally, I'm watching this. I'm saying, okay, if we stay below here, I think there's a good chance that this sells off. Maybe we get one more move up, but if we stay below this previous high here, to me, this looks like the beginning of an over-under that's going to play out bearishly. Looking at stocks, lower lows and lower highs on the highest time frame still. Is this a lower high? I don't know yet. Too early to tell. But we are trading into resistance here. So this is what you want to watch this week on ES. We had the bounce because of this monthly level. Big bounce because of the monthly level, sure. Looking at the weekly, same thing. Consolidation here, big bounce. But what we want to watch now is this area. If this week continues, right? Tomorrow, it's now, Wednesday's trading. If we start trading down here and this starts looking shitty and we trade all the way back down here, the top is in and crypto's cooked. The only thing I could see happening possibly is one more extension. Maybe we get one more move to the upside above here, but then if we get back below, right, similar to that move on Ethereum, right, one more move to the upside, but then back below, then the top is probably in. I do think that this is going to correct soon, so that's why I want to be cautious. Crypto looks kind of gassed, and I think this has maybe one more pop, but wouldn't be surprised if the top is already in here. I'm not saying we have to make a new low immediately, but at least some sort of sharp correction on this and on Bitcoin, right, and Ethereum, shake some people out. If it wants to trade to 28K and this wants to trade higher, I think a sharp correction, right, and then a move up seems much more likely. But yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm watching for, these two kind of scenarios. Like this is it, or one more leg up above here. Then you have this, one more move up. Boom. Now you're short with your stop up here, or you're looking for a low time frame short, and then bang it into here at least. Take a look at dollar as well. This just looks like something that's ready to go on a fucking run. I don't know. Multi-year long range just broke to the upside. So unless it does this and trades back in, to me, this leads to a breakout. And if that happens, risk assets aren't bottoming anytime soon. Hey, man, can you do analysis on Solana? Interesting to see how price action when the volatile news pushes. I mean, it looks the exact same as fucking Ethereum. It doesn't look like there's been an exploit going on. Normally, you expect to see kind of a big candle like this when there's an exploit. This looks no worse than Ethereum itself. Maybe slightly worse. Doesn't look worse than Bitcoin, right? Like, could you tell that that's not Bitcoin? If you quickly glanced at that, you might be like, oh, that's Bitcoin. But, it's put in a lower high on the daily, and there's your lower low that you're going to be watching for. But it was unable to even make a new high above, this high. After having this bullish market structure here, now you have a lower high and potentially a lower low. All things considered, this doesn't look that bad for the fact that there's been an exploit on the chain. I got to learn to speak more quietly and more softly. Like, this feels way nicer on my vocal cords, but I can't help but yell. Don't lie to me, boy. Bro, can you explain what a bearish order block is? Can you go fuck yourself? Do you like the 12-hour time frame? No, I just use it on all of my charts. I don't really like it though. I don't know if you're lying to me or what. Fuck you guys. Jesus Christ, guys. What is going on with the questions today? Do you think sundials are more of a flex than a Rolex? I'm not even reading that question live. What is wrong with you guys? Okay, fuck you. I can't do math. I fucking hate you guys so much. This guy says, man, what's wrong with you today? What's wrong with you guys? You guys are asking some weird shit. What's my favorite color of the alphabet? Now y'all are just fucking with me. Jane is here. Jane, what did you miss? Just a few brain cells, I'm sure. Nothing else. How do you join your Discord? I can't find it on your website. On my website, it tells you what you need to do to gain access to my Discord. Literally says right here, join the Discord. How to access the Discord. Come on, dog. That's the fake Jane. It says another person named Jane. Well, we'll just have to figure out which one of the two of you is dumber, and that's the one we'll know that's the real one. Mean, what color's your underwear? I'm not wearing any. Am I 1/4 black? That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Only in my pants. My girlfriend told me my size is inside. Ouch, bro. It's not the size, it's how you use it. That's funny, but it's actually all about the size. Why is your mom texting me again? Bro, she won't stop. You need to talk to her. Damn, that's alpha as fuck. Jane, how do I know it's the real you? Ask something dumb. And then her next question is BTC back to new all-time high. This is clearly the real Jane. Maine cooks meth. Well, that's obvious. What happened to your hair? I'm new here. I have cancer. How dare you? Who's the CT goat in your opinion? Myself. What kind of question is that? I would buy your group, says Jane. Jane, I would never let you join any sort of service that allows you to speak to me directly. Don't be silly. What is the title of the order block video? Take a wild guess what it might be.